You Y'all Pastor excited this morning, amen. I say y'all Pastor excited this morning. I'm so glad we serve a big God. We serve an awesome God. I just want to remind everybody we have some announcements I want to get to. Bible study is on Sunday. I mean on Wednesday at 6:30. I want to encourage all you guys to come out because sometimes we tell you what happens. The spirit realm is way more powerful than the natural realm. I'm reading a good book right now, and it talks about the invisible war. It talks about the invisible war that's going on, that we're not there. And the book really talks about what's going on in the spirit realm behind the scenes, and how Satan sometimes he uses the tricks, and he gives us these actions, and he gives us these ideas and these thoughts. And you know, Ephesians 6 calls it the flaming arrow, right? And he throws these ideas at us, and maybe I'm too busy for Bible study, or I'm too tired for Bible study, or whatever the reason is. And I want to get some reasons out the way, right? Even if it's me, find somebody Bible study to be in, amen? Because you cannot live a victorious life unless you're studying that Bible. There's no way. Nobody can tell me that without the Word of God, you can't live a victorious life. You just can't do it. So I want to encourage you guys to please come out to Bible study. I'm doing everything I can do to get you there. I'm trying to shorten it. I'm doing whatever I can do to get you there. And I want you to at least honor my efforts to try to get you there, because I want you to live a victorious life. And maybe that Wednesday was what you needed to hear for your situation, right? Because this Wednesday I talked about your influence, and don't waste your influence, and how the bones of your children, the bones of your co-workers, they're going to end up where you lead them. And if you don't lead them in the right place, if you don't make the sacrifice to get them there, they're going to end up somewhere, but they're not going to end up somewhere on purpose. And I challenge everybody, with your kids, listen to this everybody, would your kids have a better chance of making it to heaven if it wasn't your kids? Say that again. Would your kids have a better shot on heaven if they didn't belong to you, if they were raised in somebody else's household? And if you can't answer that question and say, I give my kids the best chance to come to Jesus, if you can't answer it in that way, we need to start training them up, and we need to start modeling Bible study for them. Amen? Amen. Amen. So bow your heads, because I got a great sermon today. I always love to talk about worship because I'm a worshiper. So bow your heads. Let me just pray one more time, and then we're going to get started. Heavenly Father, I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be here today. I thank you for each and every one of these people who honored you with the first day of their week. Lord, they're giving a tithe of their time on this day, Lord, in order to just give your name glory, Lord, to praise your name, to learn about you, Lord. I ask that you honor that, Lord. I ask that you honor that sacrifice, Lord. One, by giving them a clear mind, Lord, that they can have clear thoughts, Lord, clear revelation to be able to live the word that you want to live, the way you want to live, Lord. I ask, Lord, that you eliminate distractions, Lord. If there's anything, Lord, that Satan might try to bring to a dart or a flaming arrow to get their thoughts off of the sermon, Lord, and what we're going to talk about today, Lord, I just extinguish that in the name of Jesus, Lord. And if there's a word here today, Lord, if there's somebody here today that's dealing with a struggle, a trial, maybe it's fear, maybe it's worry, anxiety, maybe it's whatever it is, Lord. If they came through that door, Lord, saying, you know what, I don't need to fellowship with the believers. I ask that you fill them with your spirit and give them exactly what they need, Lord, that they can just be in your presence, Lord, and learn about worship today, Lord. So we love you, and we thank you, and we praise you, and we bless your name. In Jesus' name, everybody responded by saying amen. Amen. Come on, give me a better amen today. Amen. Come on, give me a better amen today. Hold them up in the air. Hold your Bibles. Let me see them high, your phone, whatever you got. Let me say word. 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 This is the word of God. This is the word of God. And because of it, I'll prevail. Now turn to your neighbor and say, aren't you glad you sat by me? Because somebody, whether they're getting on purpose or not, they should be glad they sat by you, right? So today, this is what we're going to talk about. Y'all might be like, my professor he's just running around and he's just excited. And because I'm going to tell you what, I've been studying worship. Turn it down a little bit. I've been studying on worship. And I've been talking, I just been in my personal study, I've been just going and I want to today, if I can give a thesis of my sermon today, I want you to leave here and know the importance of worship. Because one thing Satan is trying to do is he's trying to rob us of our worship. He's trying to rob us of just worshiping God and giving him what he's worth. Worship means this. Listen to this. Worship means this. The amount of worth. Because I'm not just a bass fella. Y'all see that up there? Somebody educated people like this say, Pastor, can I sing? No, can he spell? It's just bad right there. No, worship means this. It's the amount of worth you ascribe to something. Last week we talked about honor, right? And honor is the price you put on stuff, right? It's the price you put on stuff. And worship is the amount you ascribe to something. So the value of something says how well you will worship it. Everybody in here, all of you love worship, right? You love everybody in here. You might be like, that's sacrilegious. Only God deserves it. No. Because when God created you, right? Remember I told you you're a spirit, you have a soul, and you live in the body. So when God gave you a piece of his spirit, he gave you a piece of himself. And God inhabits the praises of his people. He loves to be in the midst of worship. So if he took a part, the Bible said God is a spirit, and they who worship him has to worship him in spirit and in truth. So the only way we can worship God in our spirit is worshiping his spirit. And because we have a piece of his spirit in us, we enjoy worship. Somebody still can get it, right? I can tell you right now, if Ashley tell me something, right? If I go to she go make groceries, and I go get 4 bags in each hand, and she said, boy, look at that boy with the 4 bags. Baby, you strong. I try to get one with the foot. Right? Because I love it. Worship and praise makes us do extra, right? All of us, all of us women, you want to put on your makeup, you want to look good. I want somebody, at least you better notice that I look good. You might not have to tell me, but you better at least look at me one time, and I can tell by your eyes saying, oh, yeah, I look good, right? Some of y'all women, y'all just know me. Not only that, some of y'all women be hating on each other. You know she look good, girl. Her shoes look so good. Working that dress, but you ain't gonna say that because you're a hater. No, you stop. But all of us love, we like worship. And guess what? If we're in the image of God, God loves worship too. That's why he goes to the strength to say, enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. He said we should lift up holy hands to the Lord. He wants to teach us that. So today what I want to do is, the reason why worship is so important, because that's what we're going to do for eternity. Let me hook you up. When you get to heaven, I know we talk about 2 wings to veil my face and 2 wings to veil my feet, but you're going to be, we'll work about flying, you're going to be worshiping God. Right now in heaven, the Bible says that they're worshiping God because we were born, we were created to worship. So we got to look at it. So what are the things that's competing for our worship? So before I get there, see what happens is, remember I told y'all this? I said this when I talked about Pharaoh. Pharaoh is a type of Satan. Pharaoh is a type of Satan. And when the Egyptians, when Moses went to deliver the Egyptians, what he did was he always shows his hand. He always shows his hand. He always, when it's bad, Satan always makes it worse. So what he said was, if y'all want to be free, y'all make bricks with no straw. That's what I want you to do. I want you to make some bricks with no straw. Right? He always piles on. When things get worse, he throws more and more and more. That's what he does, right? And I told y'all, Satan, if you read the Bible, Satan always shows his hand. And guess what? I was studying this thing, and God gave me a message this morning. I was praying, and I was in the parking lot, and God said, Teddy, you thought about Satan, you talked about Satan showing his hand, right? And you've been studying worship, but have you ever considered Nebuchadnezzar and the 3 Hebrew boys? I was like, Nebuchadnezzar, 3 Hebrew boys. Y'all remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? You remember them boys, and they got thrown up in the furnace? Well, let me tell you what happened. In case you've been in Sunday school, and you didn't grow up in Sunday school, but let me tell you. So what happened was, Nebuchadnezzar was the king. And he's a type of Satan, right? In the Bible, he represents in the story. So he's a type of Satan. So what he said was, you know what? I'm going to make a golden image. And every time you hear the horn and the lyre and the harp, and when you hear music start to play, listen to this. He said, when you hear the music start to play, I want you to fall down and worship what I created. And then, so Nebuchadnezzar and them boys was like, man, we ain't falling down and worshiping that you created. We worship the El Shaddai, the Lord God Almighty, the Jehovah Jireh, the Jehovah Shadrach, Shalom. That's all we serve. And he said, well, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Next time, matter of fact, get them boys in here, get the band in here. Get Cool in the gang in here. Now, he going to play. When he plays, y'all better fall down and start to worship. So they said, wait a minute, we ain't going to worship because our God is able to deliver us. And even if he don't deliver me, let it be known that we still ain't going to worship the image. So Nebuchadnezzar, the Bible said, make the furnace 3 times hot. I want you to heat it up. And I want you to throw the boys in there. And the Bible, you know, the Bible says that there was something in the form of an angel. And historians believe that was Jesus went in there and said, oh, really? Because nobody is going to get your worship except me. I'll protect you because you refuse to worship the pagan God. So now, let me put Satan in this thing. This is what Satan does. He does it, and it's so crafty. He shows his hand. What he does is, none of y'all, throw your hands up if you're a devil worshiper. Good, because I was going to throw you out. You got to go. But nobody would just bow down and start worshiping. Now y'all, Satan, if he came to you and he said, I want you to start worshiping a goat. I want you to start worshiping all this other evil stuff. And you know, because sometimes we think Satan is, we worship Satan, we watch a scary movie. Now Satan don't come like that. He know you won't worship him. He ain't going to do it. So what he does is he creates something that looks like something that we value. Right? Nebuchadnezzar didn't say, he didn't just run to the Hebrew boy and say, worship me. They'll be like, ooh, I ain't worshiping you. Right? But instead of doing that, he said, no, I'm going to create something that you think is valuable. And he knew the Israelites had a habit of worshiping gold cows. He knew they had, they would worship idols and they would worship things that were created of fancy stuff and stuff that was valuable to the world. But the Bible says everything that you consider valuable, that ain't nothing to God. Right? So he knew that they would fall down and they would worship something of value. So he put something of value in their life. And then he said, when I bring the music in, right? The Bible says in heaven, it says everybody, when we worship God, we worship with drums and we worship with keyboard and we worship him with music and the clapping of hands, right? And he said, I'm going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to imitate things that look like God. So when the music starts to play, I want you to fall down and worship. And Nebuchadnezzar, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they made up their mind and said, we're not going to do it. We're not going to fall down and we're not going to worship it. But Nebuchadnezzar told him something. He said, wait a minute. He didn't just kill him because at that time, if you didn't worship the idol, they would just throw you straight in the furnace. But he gave Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego an opportunity to do it again. Why didn't he just kill Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? He gave me this morning, right? God just was speaking my heart this morning. The reason why he didn't kill them because they were leaders. The reason he did not kill them the first time because they were leaders. And he knew if I can get the leader to fall down and worship, everybody who they influence will fall down and worship with them. So now I don't have to get this group of people to fall down and worship. I'll just get Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to fall down and worship. And then all the other people, I got them already. He does the same thing with us, right? Jim Jones, guess what Jim Jones? Jim Jones got the people drinking that Kool-Aid. Jim Jones was the pastor before. Because he knew if I can get the leader, I can get the followers. And Wednesday, what I talked about was this. Don't waste your influence. Because your influence is going to lead people to heaven or hell. Your children to heaven or hell. You're teaching them to go to heaven or hell based upon how you live your life. And this example with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, he did not kill them. Satan did not destroy them because he wanted to give them an opportunity to worship so he can get the followers. And the same thing applies today. When we come to church and we don't worship, and we don't lift up our hands, and we don't clap our hands, and we don't participate in standing and the singing, and we don't do that, guess what we're doing? We're not only robbing God of what he deserves, but we're also teaching our kids. Could I get a better amen? We're teaching our kids how to handle God. We're teaching the people in this church, the people out in the world who see us as an influence. We're teaching them how to worship God. So when, I'm going to be pastor right now. So when you come to church late and you miss the worship, somebody say ouch. When you come after the worship is over, guess what you just taught your kids to do? To devalue worship. You taught them to devalue worship. Or if you miss worship, come Sunday, miss Sunday, come on Sunday, miss Sunday. Guess what you're teaching your kids? You're teaching them how to handle God. That's why pastors here, this is my job, to warn you, to say, hey guys, we're going to miss a generation of worshipers. We count on them to praise God. Guess what? If you don't, I say this on Wednesday, statistics say if you have a parent that's kind of a Christian, but not all the way bought in, you increase the chances of your child becoming an atheist by 80%. You will increase their chances of becoming an atheist if you halfway and half out, and Satan knew it. Satan knew it. That's why I'm here to warn you as the watchman on the wall. Your worship is important. And I'm going to prove it to you because that's what we're going to do for eternity. We will worship for eternity. So if you have your Bibles, I'm finished with my introduction. I just lost half of y'all. You're like, I can't in church today. You know, I'm here. No. I want you to give God his church. So turn over to Revelation chapter 4. Revelation chapter 4. Revelation chapter 4. I'm kicking back at Revelation chapter 3. I'm kicking back at Revelation chapter 3. Here we go. So before this happened, so Paul, Revelation is a book it's written by the prophet John. Right? The prophet John, he wrote the book of Revelations, and he was out on the Isle of Patmos. He was out on Patmos, and because they were trying to kill him and shut him up, and so to stop him from preaching the gospel. So they put him on Patmos, and then an angel came, and the Bible said he was in the spirit. And the Spirit took him to show him some stuff on what's coming. So he met Jesus out there. He was like, he described it. He said, look how dark he is, and hair of wool, and his feet of bronze, and all this good stuff. And then the next step, he took him to the church, and he started talking to this church. He said, look at this church over here. Y'all doing good. And look at Thou Tower. And but he got to the last church in Revelation chapter 3. And he started talking about that church in Revelation chapter 3, the last church he talked about. And he says, I would rather you be hot or cold. He started talking and he said, I want you to be, this is who I want you to be. He said, I would much rather you be all in, and I'd rather you to be just all in with me and just got your life just on fire for the Lord and reading your Bible and studying, or I'd rather you to be an atheist and deny it. I'd rather you to say, you know what? I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I just don't even believe in it, right? He said, but I cannot tolerate you to be lukewarm. I need you hot or I need you cold. I need you all in or all out. And what's going to happen is he said, I don't want you up on some fence bouncing back and forth, in the church, out the church, in me. No, he said, I want you all the way in or all the way out. Because if you're not all the way in and all, if you're cold, I can save you. If you're hot, I can use you. But if you're lukewarm, all I can do is spit you out. So he's not talking to sinners, he's talking to the church. And then so he said, and then you say to me, I am rich. They told God, he said, I am rich, we got money, we got everything we need. He said, but you are wretched and undone. Yes, he said, you're wretched and undone. He's talking to the church. And he said, you need to know what you need to do. You need to trade all the stuff and buy stuff that's worth, buy stuff from me to clothe you so you can have eternal life. And then so he's talking about, and it's kind of depressing, like, oh, why you, man, at least they had a church, they had a building, and God said, I need you to be hot, I need you to be on fire. And I think that's still a message to the church as we talk about worship, because the next chapter, what he's going to start talking about is worship. And I don't think that God doesn't make no mistakes. When he wrote that Bible, he knew that a lot of churches was going to fall to that point where it wasn't going to be hot. It was, hotness wasn't going to be good enough. He knew we was going to drift, right? He knew we was going to anchor. See, I don't know where this coming from, but somebody can hear this, right? We need to learn to anchor ourselves to God. Yes, because all of us, whether we like it or not, we all drift. Yes. We all drift, right? I'm a pastor up here. Sometimes I drift, right? Sometimes we get busy. Life comes. circumstances happen, I get mad, I get happy, people hurt me, I'm tired, life is just piling up on me, and sometimes I find myself and I've drifted too far, and I'm like, oh, I need to get back, right? But guess what? If we grip ourselves to anchor, that's a rock, right? The Bible says if you build your house on a rock, the storm gonna come, the wind gonna blow, but you ain't gonna fall, you're gonna stand through it, right? But if you build your house on sand, and we need to grip ourselves on, anchor ourselves to a rock. That way when we drift, because every time we start to drift, if you're anchored to something, every time you start walking off, it'll pull you back. Every time your word will pull you back, right? Sometimes your worship when you come to church and you just worship, you ever been to the point where you just start worshiping God and get lost? Yeah. You just get lost in worship, tears running down your eyes, not coming all about you, and you're like, what happened? And because guess what? And during that time, that's when God starts to speak to your heart. Your mind is clear. You start throwing stuff on God. That's why worship is so important. So the next thing that happens is, it says this in chapter 4. Y'all at chapter 4?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm chapter 4. I'm not at chapter 4. Let me get to chapter 4. All right? It says this. It starts off. It starts to talk about that church, Laodicea. That's when it starts to talk about being lukewarm. And then it starts off verse number 4. It says, after I left the church that was lukewarm, after I left the church that was, God said, I went to the church. I tried to find the worshipers. I tried to see them. And he said, after this, I looked. God said, when you went in that church, they didn't have the worshipers. So after this, I need you to look at what it's supposed to look like. What it's going to look like to heaven. And then if you switch down to verse number 4, it says, he saw a throne. He saw a throne. And then he saw, let me just read verse number 1. It says, after this, I looked, and there before me was a door standing open in heaven. So the angel said, John, come see how we worship in heaven. Let's look at how we do it in heaven. And it says, and the voice I had first heard speaking to me like a trumpet says, come up here and I will show you what must take place after this. At once I was in the spirit, and there before me was a throne in heaven and someone sitting on it. And the one who sat there had the appearance of jasper. We're talking about God, y'all. They can't even describe it. John couldn't even find words to put it into what he wanted to say. He just said it was jasper like diamonds. It was ruby and red. It says, and a rainbow shone like an emerald encircled the throne. Surrounding the throne was 24 other thrones, and seated on them was 24 angels, and they were dressed in white with crowns on their head. And from the throne came flashes of lightning, rumblings of pearl, thunder in front of the throne. 7 lamps were blazing. These are the 7 spirits of God. And also in front of the altar there was what looked like a sea of glass. So John gives this picture of heaven. He said, this is how it looks. It's God, the creator of heaven and earth, the one who spoke and said, let there be light, the one who created the earth, the one who created our being, the one who brought us to live. It says, I saw him and he was dressed, and he was like jasper because he was so shiny. I couldn't do it. And when I entered his court, I saw 24 thrones. And on those thrones was the 24 elders, and they were sitting there in his presence. And the Bible says this, it says, verse number 8, it says, the four living creatures gave, hold up. I'm all backed up. I got my notes here and I got my Bible here. Somebody pray for the pastor because I'm all confused right now. But I know exactly, I'm ahead of myself. Chapter number 4. It says this. Y'all skip down. Let me work it just like this. It says, each of the 4 living creatures had 6 wings that covered their head. Y'all at verse number 8? Yes. So it had the elders and the living creatures. And the living creatures had 6 wings that covered their eyes and all around, even under their wings. Day and night. This is what they did in heaven. Day and night, they never stopped saying, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. So they say, you know what? We got this God, this big God, and we just want to worship him. He says, holy Lord, you're holy. That means set apart. You're greater than any other thing we have. And they just sit there day and night praising the Father. That's why it's so important to give God the glory, to give him the worship, because that's what we're going to do when we get into heaven. They just sit there. The Bible said day and night, all they did was sit there and tell God how good he was. So why can't we do it on a Sunday? Right? That's why it's so important to give God what he worth. And then it says this, verse number 9, it says, every living creature gave glory and honor and thanks to him who sat on the throne, who lives forever and ever. The 24 elders, they fell down before him who was sitting on the throne and worship him who lived forever and ever. This is what they did. They said, you know what, God, you're so important. Not only could you have my praise, but you could have what's valuable to me. The King James, I like what the King James said. It said they took off their crown. They said, you know what? We're not worthy to even wear this crown in your presence. I'll take what's valuable to me and I'll lay it at your feet. Why? Because you're worth it. You're worth everything I can give you. So what about us? What do you have? What do you have that you can lay down before God and say, Lord, this is it. Not just your word, because they gave him praise with their mouth, but they said, Lord, you deserve more. You deserve my words, but you deserve my crown. So what of value could you give God? Let me hook you up. Romans 12. Present your body. A living sacrifice. Holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. That's the least you can do is give God your body. And in doing that, that means if I give God my body, that means everything I do with my life is designed to worship him. So I have to be careful as a worshiper. I'm not talking about people who don't worship God. I'm saying as a worshiper, I got to be careful where I take this body and what I do with it. I was challenged, somebody challenged me the other day, and I was telling them we was at work and we was having a conversation, and so I love witnessing to my coworkers. I think that's my second church, right? They even paid me a good salary at work, right? So he challenged me. He was talking about how he had took some stuff from work. He said, yeah, I take batteries from work all the time. I said, man, why you stealing them people batteries, man? He said, it's not stealing, everybody do. I said, I don't steal no batteries from work. He said, no, they got a whole bunch of it. I said, if you had a business and you took batteries, I mean, if I work for your business and I started taking your stuff, what you think everybody's going to do? You'd be mad. You'll say, he said, no, but everybody, and then this is where he messed up at. He said, he named one of our coworkers who were atheists. And I said, let me stop it right there. Let's get holy. I said, you can't do what they do. I said, because you don't represent who he represents. I said, he can steal all the batteries he wants. Guess what? He's going to have a bunch of batteries in hell. Right? But you represent God. That's what you do. You can't call yourself a Christian and not every move you make. God is watching. The Bible says, I'm going to talk about it later. It says, God, he says, those 4 living creatures, he said they're spirits and they go throughout the whole world. And they start to look at people. And they start looking at what you do. And they want to see if you're representing God good. Because when God sees you representing him well, that's where the blessings come from. Because Lord, I'm worshiping with my body. You got to keep nice clothes on. Lord, I'm worshiping with my body. I can't be hitchhiking, Lord, I represent you, be broke down on the side of the road. Lord, I can't be doing all that, right? Because this body is for you. And because I worship you with this body, Lord, you have a responsibility to take care of what I give you. That's where it comes from. So he challenged me and said, okay. I said, man, what? Man, I said, they pay us good, man. You can go buy some batteries. I said, you want to buy some batteries? I said, I'll buy some batteries. And then so we started talking about, man, I hate when people challenge me, man. Well, I love it because y'all know me. So he said, and I said, man, if you can't afford batteries, won't you try tithing? And then God will give you everything you need because he made you a promise. He said, well, I ain't giving people all my money. He Catholic, so he's like, the priest do with the money. I said, well, you don't need to be Catholic. If that's what you think about. I said, they got people who love Jesus that's Catholic, right? You can't be a whole Catholic religion of a few thousand priests, I'm sorry. But I said, just start doing things. He said, well, I can't afford to do it. I said, think of this. Right? I'm talking about this crown that worshipers give, right? Worship, you got to worship. The Bible said, honor God with your money, right? So I said this. I said, you go to a restaurant. Everybody here like to go to the restaurant. I'm pretty sure we got some people here. Everybody like to go to the restaurant. And all of us, like, any tippers in here? Right? Everybody, raise your hand if you're a tipper. Okay, put those hands down. Now raise your hand if you're a cheapskate. See you on this phone back there playing. Anyway, here we go. So I said this. I said, when you go to get service. And something, anybody like me, but something just feel bad if I don't give 10% to the waiters. It's just kind of like, man, I'm not cheap. And then then black people, y'all got this thing where y'all black people tip. I don't know what they talking about. So I represent all black people. I'm gonna leave my tip, right? Now, but you feel bad when you don't give the waiter a tip. I told him this, and I said, so when you come to church, you say I can't give God a tip. So you care about the waiter more than you care about the God of the universe? He said, well, I'm not saying that. I said, well, your actions are, right? And it's just like that. And so, now y'all can talk about money, talk about passion, talk about worship. But giving is a part of worshiping God. That's why the elders, the first thing, I'm going to go through 3 more groups of people who gave. But the first and most mighty and the closest people to God, the first thing they said was, here you go, God. You can have anything that I have of value. So not only does God want our praise and worship, he wants our body, but he wants our resources. The next thing he wants is he wants your effort. He said, we worship God and what we do for the kingdom. What we do for the kingdom, because we've gotten so comfortable and we've taken our worship, and sometimes we condense our worship, say, I went to church on Sunday and that's all I'm going to do. But they got a whole world out there going to hell in a handbasket, and we don't have people that say, you know what? You need to give your life to Christ. When is the last time have you worshiped God and bringing somebody to Christ? Because another thing that you can do is show up to God and pop up to heaven, poof, you die, you up there, right? And you say, look what I brought with me. I brought somebody in with me. Here you go, God. You can have my life, and I gave you a 2-for-1 deal, God. Here's all my worship, because all I am is for you. I wish I had some worship. Let's give God praise right there. So let's keep going. So verse number 4, let me go down. So this is what they said. They put their crowns. They said they laid their crowns before the throne. They said, worthy, you are worthy, our Lord and God, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they were created, and have their being. So that was just the first day of worship. That's just the first person. The angel has taken John to this palace and this presence of praise, and he's taken him to this place of worship. So that's verse number 4. That's the first day. I was just thinking like this. That's the first day in heaven. We just went to the Father and praised him, and then they ran into a problem in verse number 5. And I'm gonna just go through this. So in verse number 5, they ran into an issue. They got problems in heaven. They had a big problem in heaven. Somebody like, how did they get a problem in heaven? God was sitting on the throne, and he's sitting there with a scroll in his hand. He got a scroll in his hand, and the Bible says that when John saw, they asked the question. They said, who is worthy? Who is worthy to take the scroll and open the scroll? Who is worthy to go up there and open the scroll? And I can imagine in heaven, they probably was looking all around heaven. They said, David can open the throne. David can open the scroll. Come here, David. He said, nah, man, I can't open the scroll. You remember that thing with Bathsheba? I can't open it. They said, no, okay, he can't open it. Come, Noah can open it. Noah can open it. Noah's in heaven. Noah can open it. He said, man, I can't do it either, man, because I had an alcohol problem. And I got drunk. And they said, man, who can open the scroll? So the Bible said they went to earth. They said, who can open the scroll? They went to Joel Osteen, and Joel Osteen just smiled. Then they went to T.D. Jackson. He just said, get ready, but I can't open the scroll. And then he came to Pastor Timothy, and I'm not going to tell y'all all my story. Trust me, I ain't worthy. So they said, cool in the game. They said, because the Bible said this, if you read chapter 5, it said they looked in heaven. That's right. They looked on earth. And they decided to look under the earth. They said, we're going to look under it. And I was so Satan was just sitting there smiling. Say, I got it. I can do it. I can open the scroll. And they didn't even entertain it. It's like, nah, dude, you just. So this what John said. John said this. He said, since there was nobody to open the scroll, he said, I started crying. I started weeping. I didn't understand. And that shows me they got 2 types of people in here. You got 2 types of people in here, just like John was in heaven that day. You got worshipers and you got weepers. The Bible said John wept, but the worshipers still was worshiping. Because they didn't know that there was somebody who was able to open the scroll. So the worshipers understand that no matter what I go through, no matter how tough it gets, no matter what's going on in my life, I still have somebody to depend on who's going to come and get when I'm at between the rock and the hard spot at the end of my road. I still got somebody so I can come in here and I can put on my big girl makeup and I can be a man and I can say, Lord, you're still worthy no matter what I go through. If I lost everything, I'm still worthy. But then you got to come on, give me all my work. They're like, but then you got your weepers. And they sitting there saying, look how bad it is. Nobody can open the throne. I don't know why I'm coming here in the first place. I don't get nothing out of church. I don't know why I'm worshiping God. I'm not getting nothing. They just weep and weep and weep. But the angel said this to him. He said, look at the lion. There's a lion of Judah over there. And we're here to tell you, if you're a weeper, look, there's a lion of Judah over there, and he's ready to step in your situation, because no matter what happens, he's still a miracle working God.
Thank you.
Okay, let me get a better amen.
Amen.
The Bible said that Jesus got up with all power in his hand. So and he has enough healing in the hem of his garment.
Oh yeah.
He has enough. He can make a way out of no way. He can take the blind and he can give them their sight. He said not only he said I get the reason why he came. He said I'm gonna recover sight to the blind. I'm gonna set the captive free. I'm gonna heal people. I'm gonna do all of it, and then I'm gonna tell them that we're going to heaven. Therefore I go into heaven and I prepare a place for you. And the one I saw, I would not have told you. I want you to come up with you, and I want you to come up and worship with me. So no matter how bad the situation gets, at the end of the day you still win, because I prepared a place for you. You fear not, because I am with you. They said there's a lion over there. He looked at the weeper. He said no matter what, there's a lion over there. And then the crazy part about God, they said at that moment when they showed him, when the weeper, when he was crying and he showed him the lion represents strength. And then the next thing they said, and then Jesus appeared as a lion, and then he appeared as the lamb slain from the beginning of the world. You know what that tells me? And I'm so glad we serve a God like Jesus, because he can be a lion when I need him to be strong, and he can relate to me when I need him to be right. He can understand. He can when my enemies come, when my haters come, and they start talking about me, and they start doing me wrong, and they start running my name in the dirt, he'll be the lion. He'll lift up a standard. When Satan comes through there, he's trying to wreak havoc. He said, those who I put in my hand, the very devil in hell cannot pluck them out. He'll be a lion and he'll be strong. The Bible, David said, his rod and his staff, they comfort me. They comfort me because I know when the wolf came, he got a rod and he'll beat that dog. I win. Yeah. Amen? Amen. And then when I'm doing bad, and then when I'm lonely, and when I'm worried, and when I'm weak, and when I'm crying, he appears to me as the lamb. And said, I know you hurt, but look at the wound in my side. Oh, I hurt too. And look at my hands. I hurt too. And your wounds, just like my wounds, they tell a story. When Jesus had to validate who he was, he didn't go up there and he didn't show him how strong he was. When Thomas was doubting, he said, look, Thomas, look at my wounds. And he's there to show you it might be rough right now. Because this weeping is to the devil, when worship is to God. Amen. And when we weep long, that's our way of giving Satan the glory. He wins. But when we worship, we give God